Salute, salute, salute. Peace and love, peace and love. Welcome to Thursday night UnderDog Madness. Yeah, we got some good stuff tonight. Q&A. If you want to ask questions, we invite you to ask questions. I dropped a link in the chat box. Should be at the top of the chat. And yeah, we're going to do it big tonight. We got some good stuff because we got to stop beating ourselves up. And the reason why I'm saying that is we beat ourselves up because we think that we can do better, and we can. But here's the thing. You can't beat yourself up and think you're going to do better. It don't work that way. And so what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to celebrate yourself. And first of all, you're going to have to forgive yourself and love yourself and know yourself, because this is the biggest time of our life. We got a time to be human. We got time to study the scriptures, study spiritualities, study metaphysics, mystics, esoteric knowledge, cult knowledge, any knowledge that you desire. You have the time to do it and advance your spiritual growth. And that's what I urge anybody to get into, because the reason is what we see is temporal. All this stuff is temporal. It's not eternal. And once we get that in our consciousness, we'll understand what is more important. I remember back in the day, they had a movie and this lady said, the best things in life is free. Guess what? Love is free. Happiness is free. All these things are gifts from God. Truth is free. You don't have to pay for nothing. So once we understand these principles, that it's okay that we didn't know, all right? That is man's biggest sin, ignorance. Let me pull that up right quick. Ignorance is man's biggest sin and that's his only sin. And that's what you got to forgive yourself and start seeking truth. Because once you start seeking truth, then you'll understand how to forgive yourself and why to forgive yourself. Because the problem is this: it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay if you didn't know. And that's what man got to realize. We run from spirituality, but that is our root. That is our way of being. That is the only thing in this universe. And that is why we got to start studying and understand what is going on with us. Because once we understand that it's okay that you didn't know, all right? It's okay you didn't know. In the etymology dictionary, lacking wisdom or knowledge, unaware. Okay, we're going down to here. Not knowing, ignored, present ignorance, not be unacquainted, mistake, misunderstanding, take no notice of, pay no attention to. It's okay. Listen, the universe does not hold that against you, okay? That is your sin. all the other stuff they told you, that is not correct about sin. That's not correct. Your biggest sin is you didn't know, but it's okay. The universe understands, the divine mind understands that guess what? They didn't know, and that's okay. But now is the time to know. Even the scriptures say, seek God while he shall be found. So what are you doing? You are seeking the higher source of our existence. And that's all we got to do. And once we do that and get a clear understanding, we'll understand how this universe works. And once you understand, then you will see all the con games that's being played. You'll understand all the con games. But these things need to happen in order for you to develop and be the divine self that you truly are. See? And that's why we have to love and have patience with one another and be wise, because these are the characteristics of the universe. When you meet these characteristics of the universe, then you will start understanding and clearly how much power God and how much God loves you. See, then you'll start loving yourself. But it's okay you didn't know. And that's what we want to talk about today. That unknowing sometimes is a way we have to grow into knowing. Okay. If you don't know and you seeking and you trying to know, then you grow into that. Now you're gonna pull away from unknowing into knowing. Okay. Now it's gonna be some trials and tribulations in that breakup. Okay. But you got to be aware of it, that these things gonna take place. But as they take place, as you moving forward in your spirituality, in your consciousness, you're gonna realize that you are growing. That is really is like the thermometer of your spirituality, because you're gonna know certain levels of your spirit where you're saying, oh, this is supposed to take place. Now I need to rejoice and I need to be happy right here. And then you're gonna see something that is not, it don't feel pleasant, but you know that it's supposed to happen, because that is the way you monitoring your growth. Okay. The universe loves you, and it is love. It's all love. And that's what we got to get to. And it's okay. It's okay if it take one person longer than the other, but long as you try, okay? Just as long as you try. You know, a good man falls 7 times, 7, and he get up. You remember that song? We fall down, but we get up. You got to get up. But sometimes you go into a situation that's meant for you to stay for a little while, okay? So you can get some of the kinks wrapped out and find the truth within yourself and find the truth within the universal divine mind. And then the identity that you're seeking and need to keep going forward, it'll progress. You just got to take time and let it happen. See, but we got to understand that we're not in this by ourselves. You know, so many times I don't heard this phrase, get your butt away. And what that means is you just got to let go and let the divine uh guide you. And it will. And it'll guide you once you realize that you are part of it. You move and have your being inside of the divine. Okay. You cannot be separate from it. But it's the ignorance, okay, that is keeping us from getting into the flow of the divine because we feel what we've been taught and how we've been taught. A lot of times that is the only way, but there's another way above that. What we've been taught, and that's why you got to realize how powerful you are and start reaching for the higher plane of existence, of consciousness. And it's all around us. The universe talk to us every day. Talk to us through people, talk to us through situations, circumstances, uh, uh, houses, cars. It talk to us through everything, trying to get our attention to understand that we spirit first, okay? And that these are the qualifications that we need to develop, and we can do it. Is just sitting down and being determined to do it. Let me show you a chart before I go to this. Let me show you a chart. Yeah. I'm gonna get it up here first. Let me show you this chart. And this is a awesome chart to study and to put into your daily reading or your way, okay, of getting an understanding. Because we are down here or here to develop, okay? We're down here to develop. And as you see this chart, you see at the bottom down here is shame, guilt, empathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, and then courage. Once you get into courage right here, you into your higher self. You forming your higher self now. And this is what we need to do. This guy that created this chart, David H. Hawkins, he understood and understand the development that man got to go through. And we got to go through it. And we want to reach that enlightened stage. See, this what God is right here, up here. God is not down here feeling guilty and shame about anything. When you do something, don't be ashamed to do it out of your heart. Now, here's the thing. When you cultivating peace and joy and love and enlightenment, your development is there. And this is what God is, man. See, what we don't realize that the things in how the Bible and the Quran and the Bhagavad Gita and the Path of Four Ways and all these spiritual books, well, the Tao do teach as spirit, but this is what God is. Let me show you what God is. And we got to remember this. And once we remember this, then we'll start looking at ourselves different. Then we'll start calling ourselves what we should be, identifying with the truth. See, when you identify with the truth, your life is going to change no matter what. But you still going to have situations. But let me pull this up. Let me pull it up. You still going to have to understand. Okay. This is what God is. God, the mind of the universe, composes of archetypes, ideals, life, love, wisdom, substance, truth, power, peace, and so on and so forth. Being, It is a being. It always is in this state right now. It never moved forward or back. It was just in this state. Being. That's what we have to do. Be. And being is omnipresent, omnipotent, omnipotent. It is the fullness of God, the all good. These are the things that we need to get in our consciousness. Okay. So once we understand these things, we know we didn't know. Okay, it's okay. And all you got to do to get rid of that is have a forgiving heart. Ask for forgiveness and just say, listen, I did not know the full truth of my past, and I act ignorantly because I didn't know. Can you forgive me? And just be done with the past, because the past is what a lot of people is trying to drag forward, and it's messing them up psychologically, because the mind is keep playing it over and over. But here's the thing. Once you drop that and say you did these things out of ignorance, slate clean. You walking on a new path now. Get me? So that's the past. So when you deal with the future, just give all the thoughts to the divine, because you can't tell God what to do. I'm going to say that again. You can't tell God what to do. That's our problem. That's what we're running into. Instead of staying in the state of the present now and flowing with God, day by day, minute by minute, second by second, hour by hour, just flowing with God, we going against the grain, because we trying to tell, well, I'm going to go do this, God, and I'm going to do that, God, and I'm going to do it. We're messing up. When God said, I take care of all your needs. So what we got to do is put these spiritual things in it. Let's go to the scripture. Yeah, let's do that. Because we are divine beings. And don't let nobody fool you. We all just one entity with love, peace, and happiness in us. Listen what it say. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. As for we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith. And the reason why I'm using that scripture, because the simple fact is we don't realize that we got an opportunity. We got an opportunity to sow spiritual wellness inside of us. And once you do that, you already automatically gonna get the health wellness, the wealth wellness, the success and prosperity. Why? Because it's all for us. That's what faith is. To recognize the old things that you thought about and did and had and have and all of these things. You gotta let that stuff go and move on to the higher divine self. And that is our job. That is what we're supposed to do. And everything around us will take care of itself. See, we've been led astray, and it's okay. See, it's okay when you don't know. And I'm going to keep saying that because when you don't know, it's not your responsibility when you don't know to do something that you don't know you should be doing. Okay. You just doing what you think. You in the survival mode. You using all the survival tactics and things that you need to survive. Good. That's fine. But when you come into true knowledge, then you're going to let go of that survival thinking and start thinking with your divine mind. And that's where we need to be at to develop that. And the way you do that is study the spiritual things that come to you. And the universe gonna bring all the spiritual things that you need to study in your presence and keep you occupied feeling, because man is mind. So your thoughts resonate to the universe. So whatever spiritual things that you're reading and partaking and digesting into your subconscious mind, that is what's going to reflect the universe. And that's what's happening. So once again, don't beat yourself down because you didn't know some of this knowledge. But guess what? It's time to ask for the spirit of truth. That's one of the divine attributes, spirit of truth, because everything is spirit. So if you ask with a sincere heart of spirit of truth, the spirit of truth will start guiding you daily to spiritual things so you can put it in and digest it. And once you get it in your heart and in your mind, then it'll connect with it. Okay. That's how this go. It just is simple, but we need people to show us and direct us to the tactics that we need to take in order to develop. And a lot of people will miss because of the beliefs that they holding from the past. Is going to get in their way. It's going to say, no, what are you talking about? We don't need that. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good. Okay, if you're doing good spiritually, okay, if you sowing and you're doing good spiritually, hey, salute. You know what I mean? I ain't finna knock, because everything that I read, that don't mean you got to read it. It might be other authors that you have to read, because you got to remember that the universe is vast. The divine is vast. And it's so much knowledge here. You can make about 15 worlds out of the knowledge that's already here. I mean, just keeping it 100. And so once you understand that you already, listen, you already are safe. You ain't in no jeopardy. You ain't in no die straight, what they say, turbulence or nothing like that. And the reason being, because, big salute, because the whole universe is God and God love us. So he ain't trying, or it ain't trying to destroy us. It's trying to get us to that divine stage of self, because our lower self is what we use to survive off of. Okay, then we elevate to divine self. Okay, and once we elevate to divine self, our consciousness, our way of living, our well-being, giving back to the source that we came from. And if people don't make that decision and turn ignorance into knowledge, that's okay too. They just gonna have to repeat. That's okay. It ain't like what they told us. And the whole thing is nothing you see, nothing you see is what they told us. You don't believe what you see. Just keep. That's why in the Psalms it say, "Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil." All this stuff is an illusion, and it's here to train us up in the way we should go. And all we got to do is get in the covenant of our divine mind, and it will protect us from all these things. Let me go to this scripture. I got a scripture. It was like this brother was going through on this situation, okay, and he was. It ain't funny, but it's real. You know, it's like um, when he was going through, he was through battle, and this was King David in this situation. He had delivered me, my soul, in peace from the battles that was against me, for there were many with me. And he, what he was saying is, listen, when I lived in the ignorant mind, I had so many problems. And I ain't feel like I had nobody with me to help me solve these problems. But when you get into your right mind, divine mind, and you be in your divine self, you ain't got no problems. You ain't got, because you ain't worried about it. You don't put yourself in God's hand, and God is going to protect you and guide you, and you can really get your butt out the way and let God, let go and let God. That's what they say. Let go and let God. So when you do that, your whole consciousness, your well-being, the way you live, all of that is going to be provided by God. Now you got peace to really, really study, to really change, to be, do, and have the things that you want, because you ain't worried about nothing. What his name? I don't forgot it. He said, I ain't worried about nothing. He had that rap song, I ain't worried about nothing. When you ain't worried about nothing, you got time, you got peace. You can't listen, you cannot study and learn things under distress. You ain't gonna learn nothing if you stressed out. Depressed, stress, depressed, you ain't gonna learn. Now, here's what I'm telling you: you can manifest quicker through de-rest, but sitting down and really eating a plate full of spiritual food is gonna be hell to pay. You really ain't gonna soak in that much. But when you have peace and understanding, just reading a poem, just reading a verse is like honey to your mouth. It's just sweet to your soul. And you know, it's just like a beautiful thing. And that's what I tell people. We as people got to wake up and realize that we are in a position to get some of that spiritual knowledge and develop. And don't worry about what the world say. Don't worry about what, because what you're gonna do is overcome that anyway. This ain't, listen, this ain't no race, because everybody in the world is one person anyway. You don't want to fight against your own self. Everybody the same soul, everybody the same spirit. We just different bodies. Everybody the same. That's another thing that they ain't gonna tell you, you know. But we got to realize that our souls belong to the divine, and we are divine, and that's what we got to remember, because we forgot that. Remember, listen to the word remember. You got to put all the members back together. You got to put all the members back together. And that's what you got to do. And the 12 members is the 12 disciples. Look them up. Here goes some of them right here. Love. I mean, life, love, wisdom, substance, truth, power, peace, and all, and so forth. Being is omnipresent, omnipotent, omnipotent. It is the fullness of God, the all good. And that's what you are. That's what you are. All good. Yeah. And so we got to realize that we are in the right place at the right time. And once you realize you're in the right place at the right time, it's going to get easier. And then you're going to start changing some of your ways and start understanding my character is got to be godly character. And it's easy to develop, even in the ignorant state of consciousness. You can push away from that by just starting to sow seeds in your subconscious mind of life, love, wisdom, substance, truth, peace, and power. And it's just that easy. When you start sowing, you create a garden. You create a garden of divine seed. And these seeds gonna grow. I guarantee you they gonna grow. And then once they grow, then you'll stop beating on yourself and then you'll start understanding, because now you have surrendered to the divine mind. And there's peace there, peace of mind. Yeah. And that's what we all need. We all need it. And with that being said, we got a big show on Sunday. We're going to start at 6. You know, we always start at 6. Meditation Sunday. You know, check us out. And it's going to be live. It's always live. I want people to come on and talk to me, and so we can dig into this spiritual things. But and I put the link in there, but it's going to get greater later. And here's the thing. What you need to do is follow the spirit within you. Okay. It's going to lead you and guide you. Me, all I can do is tell you this information, but you're going to have to put in the legwork, and you're going to have to listen to the God within you that dwells within you. My God in me tells me that this is the way for me. So you're going to have to understand that, guess what? It might be another book or another meditation form or whatever for you, what fits for you. But all roads lead back to the divine source, because it ain't but one source, and we all it. With that being said, know thyself, love thyself, and be true to thyself. Peace and one love.